Erai Beckmann, your host here with ConsciousVitality.com. And today we have the pleasure of meeting with Michele Labelle Anurag Gupta. They're going to share with us about their retreat coming up entitled Sweet Nothing from November the 16th to the 18th this year, 2012, here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. Here we have Michele Labelle and Anurag.
Hey.
So today, guys, we're going to hear a little bit more about the retreat that you guys have going on. So why don't you feel free just to share with us what the people who have the opportunity to attend will experience.
Nothing.
Awesome.
Nothing. In the very best manner. You know how much you love nothing? You know when you got nothing going on and there's nothing wrong and there's nothing else that you want? What's better than absolutely nothing? So actually it's why it's called Sweet Nothing. The sweetness of like how that space of actual nothing. You know, sometimes you've had the best time. You've had like the best workout and you're just like in that state of, you know, peace and quiet and absolutely nothing. And so, so it's all about nothing. And if we do a really good job, you should get absolutely nothing out of it.
Awesome.
So a little bit on the side of getting to that place of Sweet Nothing, I'll be sharing some yoga and some movement. And we're going to be having it at Brew Creek Lodge, or Brew Creek Center in Whistler, 20 minutes south of Whistler. And coming back to that place of breath in your body. When you connect to your body through your breath, you stay grounded and you're able to think more clearly, more effectively. And those are some of the things that I'll be sharing with you. And at the end of the clip, we'll be doing an actual exercise where I'll get you to do a little meditation through your breath. So Anurag, do you want to say anything else?
Well, and I'm here to make sure nobody takes any of that too seriously. Right? So here's the deal. As far as I can tell, why we do everything, why we decide what to do, what we're going to do is to enjoy our lives as much as possible. We do this, we choose that, we buy this, we live here. Also that we can, we think that's what's going to have us enjoy our life. And what I discovered is that people put a lot of effort into things which they think will have them then enjoy their life instead of putting the effort directly into enjoying their life. So we're going to take all of the stuff out of it and leave you with actually nothing other than the context of creating and enjoying your life. So, are you... No? Okay, good. All right, good. So one of the things that we're going to look at is a conversation of how to bring like real fun and joy and lightness to everything that you do. Ultimately, the very basis of our work is, you know, and the whole weekend's about being at the source of things. You know, if you're at the source of something, you're at the origination of it, the creation of it, at the heart of it. And if you had a choice, if you were at the source of your life, you would create the experience you want in your life, and you would create, like in physical reality, the results you want in your life. So what is that? How do you access that? How do you keep yourself, living right now, no matter what's happening in the experience of life that you want to be living? So we want to explore that. We want you to be able to access that. Now, it's not even a question of what you want. It's a question of what you would want if you even knew it was possible. Let me say that. There's another thing, which is we're going to do some work to, this is going to seem like, by the way, kind of a paradox or a contradiction, but, in all the worlds of enlightenment and transformation, there's a paradox you have to deal with. There's a commitment to have you be able to access what you want or what you would want if you knew it was possible, but the other part of the conversation is to have you access a life free of wants. This will sound strange, but I'll tell you, one of the things you would want if you thought it was possible is to live a life without wants. Not trapped by wants, not trapped by wanting these other things that if I get them, then I'll be happy. What if you could actually be right at the heart of having it all right now?
Yeah.
Right? And then, if you'll notice, the best and most magical times in your life that you've ever had is you didn't want to be anywhere other than where you were. It was so perfect right now. So there's an entire world of temporality that we can shift with the right set of conversations to no longer live into the future of when I get that, I want that, then I'll be happy, but to be right at the heart of creating that right now. So that's one of the things that we'll work on.
Awesome.
So being able to enjoy in nature, where we're going to be doing some of the yoga practices. It's in a beautiful room in a beautiful virgin forest, essentially. And coming back to that place of being connected to your body, to your breath. And when you do yoga, you basically align different meridian lines in your body, and you're able to balance right side of the body, your brain, left side of your body and your brain. When you do that, they've actually found that you're actually increasing neural pathways in your body and your brain. so that you're able to think in a different way. You're able to clearly come to a place of sweet nothing. Those magic places. So that's what I look forward to sharing with you.
I'm coming in here between my two friends because one of the things that I really for myself thought was amazing that both Michele and Anurag were bringing together was the balance of these two worlds of the physical component, which is also getting to know ourselves physically, more inward, connecting to our higher purpose and our higher selves, but then also this really, really transformational work that Anurag is bringing to the table as well to help us become more aware of maybe some patterns, some habits, some ways of thinking that we have that may actually be limiting us, causing us more stress, more tension, more fear in our lives, and really not allowing for us to experience the freedom and the potential that we have within us. And I just think such a beautiful balance that you guys are both bringing to the table. It's awesome.
So the retreat is going to be November 16th, 17th, and 18th at Brew Creek Center, just 20 minutes south of Whistler. And you can register online at regonline.ca/sweet nothing. And we're on Facebook as well.
Exactly.
And we'll teach you how to make it through the 2012 apocalypse.
Bonus.
The only place you'll learn.
There's a bonus. A little bit of scarcity in there, just in case. Yeah. If you'd like to still be around after the 2012 apocalypse, this is your only option.
That's right.
To attend this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening to ConsciousVitality.com and watching, obviously. Thank you very much, Michele and Anurag, for taking this time out of your day to share this with these wonderful people. Be well. All right, so right now, what I wanted you to hear was one of the things that Anurag had shared with us in our previous interview, which you can also find here on ConsciousVitality.com or on the Sweet Nothing event page for Facebook, which was his consumption
versus creating.
And I thought it was something brand new to me. I'd never heard anyone lay these principles out in the very same way, and I was able to really retain and learn a lot and implement it into my life immediately after having listened to Anurag. So I wanted you guys to hear the very same thing. So Anurag, could you please share with us that?
Sure. So let me say where it came from or what motivated it was I spent a lot of time with a commitment that people could simply have the best experience of life possible. And I looked at lots of different things and a lot of processes. And what I wanted to do was to distill it in the simplest, clearest access that people could get. So just so people understand, the purpose of this is for you to be able to create your experience of life exactly how you want.
Okay.
All right? And it actually will also flow into, kind of the results you can create. But really, it's about the most vital, exuberantly joyful existence. And I don't mean that like a superlative. I mean like really.
It's really possible.
Yeah. And so the bottom line is this. When I talk to people, I interviewed a lot of people. I said, what do you want? And people say they want to get the most out of life. And everybody that I met and talked to says, okay, if I got the most out of life, that would be like the most fulfilling state. And so mostly that makes sense to people. So I said, my assertion is this: that's not going to be your most fulfilling state, is getting the most out of life. Getting the most out of life is the world of consuming. There's something in life to get, and you're consuming it. And this will I'm going to say it about, and then it's going to make more sense when I describe it.
Okay.
Give you some examples, all right?
Yeah, give us some context.
So, consuming is a world of gratification. Gratification, by that I mean, like when you get that hit of something, you get gratified when you buy this thing, and then it's over, right? It's empty. It's relief from stress or anxiety or distraction, or just reacting. So consuming, I'm going to say that 90 to 100% of our adult life is the world of consuming. It's gratification, relief, distraction, and reacting.
Yeah.
So what's the alternative? What else is there? Okay. Other than consuming, there's creating.
Yeah.
And creating is an entirely different state. In creating, instead of gratification, there's a world of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Like there's gratification is a little hit. Satisfaction is that profound sense of that rock. That's so good. Like when it's just, you gave it everything. You can actually win a game 10-0, maybe be gratified in the win. You could lose the game 3-2, but you gave it everything and you placed your best game and you're satisfied.
Yeah.
It's two totally different worlds.
Yeah.
So, creating is a world of satisfaction. It's a world of joy. It's a world of expression. It's a world of freedom. Like
fulfillment.
Total fulfillment.
Yeah.
And it requires your fullness of participation. Now, so let me give some examples of that really will flesh that out. I work with people in everything from individuals to large businesses and organizations, nonprofit, everything in between. And we find the same thing in every aspect of life, organization. I can even bring this to societal examples. The bottom line is this, is that, like, if I take, like, for instance, a business or a company or an organization or a project that people start, at the beginning, people are creating it. Because, you know, when you're creating something, you're bringing into existence something that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
right?
prior to.
It doesn't.
It's brand new.
Create it.
Yeah.
So people are like, whoa, they're coming up with ideas, they're creating it, they're passionate, they got all this mojo, and they're working their asses off. It doesn't matter. Like, you're just, like, loving it, right?
Yeah.
And then it exists. And then it starts to get, like, old, like, oh, I've got to manage it.
Very routine, very monotonous.
I've got to perpetuate it. You know, we walk into businesses and the mojo's gone. It's like we can track back to when they were building it.
Yeah.
They were like on fire, and then they got successful, and they just started spending the money and going after goodies and gratification, or they got overwhelmed. They started reacting and wanting relief.
Yeah, I've been there.
And they lost their creative. Now, I'm not even saying don't spend money and have some goodies, but if you do that and you stop creating, boom, all of that energy's gone.
Yeah, one of the things I want to take a moment right here, Anurag, just my own sort of summary for this right now, my understanding is this creates awareness. So everything with ConsciousVitality.com is all about creating awareness more so in people in all of our lives, so that when we have that awareness, we can be empowered with that knowledge and information, and then we can help to integrate it and apply it into our lives more so. So these are all things that all of us are doing, and you're just giving us better tools.
Absolutely. But my commitment is that people can really live as joyfully as they choose.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we learn by applying this is that whatever you call, like, that honeymoon experience of life at the beginning of something, that actually never has to fade. You can perpetuate that as long as you want. I will say it does take some effort.
Yeah.
But again, it's like put effort into enjoying your life as much as possible. I mean, I don't know, what else are you doing with your time? So, but anyways, let me give some more examples. So we see that when people start a business or a project, there's all this juice at the beginning. Everybody's experienced that fade. Well, there's an access to keeping that alive. And that's when you start, as long as you keep creating. Now, people have to learn what it takes to keep creating as something grows and expands. So we'll look at that. But in every aspect, you know, let's look at relationship, right? The thing that I love the most is the most magical experiences of life. That's the best part, right? How good can you take it, right? And so I'd like to talk to people who are, like, when they're in that state, like when it's the absolute
They're really
best.
jazzed up.
They're so jazzed, right? So one of the most common examples is when they're, like, madly in love. Right?
Yeah.
So I talk to people and I say, okay, why is it so great? Why is it so juicy? Like, when did it start? They go, well, when I started seeing this person, when they came into my life, right? So you're telling me why it's so magical is because of this person? They go, yes. I said, okay, well then tell me how come that person is still there when it's not magical anymore, right? It's not like people have a shelf date on them, right? They're still the same person. They didn't change. The magic went away. Why is that? Well, actually, my assertion is that it's not the other person. It's that at the beginning of the relationship, you were creating, you know, like I said, doing stuff, bringing stuff into existence that didn't exist.
Yeah.
There's the routine of the day, all right? There's the routine of the day. You can just get up and go with it, the drift.
Yeah.
But when you're madly in love, you're like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
What can I create for
This is all new.
And you want to do stuff that otherwise wouldn't happen, right? You want to buy them stuff, write poetry, who knows, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that world of thinking stuff up and creating gives you life, gives you vibrancy, makes things magical.
Yeah.
It's no different than when you're sitting around coming up with an idea for a party or for, you know, business, and you start to riff back and forth and bounce off each other, and it's so juicy, right? So as long as you are using the relationship as a playground, as a canvas with which to create your passion, it was alive. The moment, not gradually, the moment you stopped creating, you just showed up and then consuming. Can I get some gratification? Can I get some relief or distraction? You're reacting to the other person. It's all about what can I get from them? Am I getting what I want? When you were madly in love, when it was brilliant, it was you were creating. You were like, what can I give?
Yeah.
See,
so what I'm hearing you say, Anurag, is that there's going to be an opportunity, a skill set, a system, I think is what I'm hearing you say, that you have, that when we get to understand it, which we can experience through attending your retreat and Sweet Nothing, we'll be able to take it away with us and integrate it into our day-to-day lives.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And this is going to help us in our relationships. It's going to help us in our work life. It's going to help us maybe even potentially, and what'll help us to maybe achieve new goals or new dreams of ours?
Actually, it's actually limiting, or it's actually not fully capturing it to say it'll help you in each of those things.
Okay.
It's actually, the thing is, it'll completely alter from which you engage in all of those things.
Awesome.
It shifts the context. It shifts your approach. You know, it's kind of like this. You know, when you're when you're very at the beginning of learning to ski, you're like, whoa, and you're just reacting to falling down and trying not to fall down. And then when you get enough distinction in skiing, your view of the same hill changes, and you can create and navigate in a way that you never could before. You couldn't even imagine before, right?
Yeah.
So the world is out there. The world's like a ski slope, you know, or anything else. And you're suddenly, if you start to create some distinction where you didn't have it before, you'll see a whole new way to create things in life, including, listen, everybody that's watching this right now, you all have some expertise in something. You're good at something that maybe somebody else you know is not good at. And in that situation, you can create options and navigate in a way other people can't. So now, what if you could do that with this, with being at the heart of your experience of life? You simply can learn some things to navigate life in an entirely new manner. It's not complicated. You actually already do this. You've done this in other times in your life. I don't even want to give you something you don't have. That's actually a really important part of my work, is to only design access to stuff that people already are doing or have done in some point in their life, so I know without a doubt anybody can do it and access it.
Very cool. And one of the things I really want to make sure that everyone watching this is clear on, we mentioned it in our last interview, is that, Anurag, you've done this work with many, many people, in fact, thousands of people, and helped them achieve results in their lives that they wanted to as well. Is that correct?
That's right.
Right? So this is something, this is a proven process.
Yeah. At this stage, this is something where, you know, it's just, it's the distillation of a decade of work with tens of thousands of people, actually.
Tens of thousands.
And, it's just like the most effective summary that we've ever created.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure that everyone who's listening to this can at least, if nothing else, benefit from everything that you've just shared with us. So thank you very much. We can take that away. We can take a look at it. Take a look below this video as well for the notes back to the last interview as well, where Anurag also shared, expounded a little bit more so upon these principles, and Michele shared a guided breathing exercise with us at that time.
So one of the reasons that I've loved creating yoga retreats locally and around the world is you get an opportunity to get outside of your normal space, your normal everyday life. And, you know, when you're in nature, you can connect to a deeper place that you feel just more relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to worry about checking your emails. You don't have to worry about answering the phone. This time is just for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to have you have that opportunity, that this is a gift that you're giving yourself. And so I'll be sharing different types of yoga. I'll probably do a hatha yoga class, a yin restorative class, and there'll be a dancing movement with like some amazing movement in this amazing forest that we're going to be hanging out in.
It seems so beautiful. You're being so descriptive. And I can see the room too. It's Brew Creek Center. And what's the URL for that? Just brewcreekcenter.com or?
Not sure.
Okay, just Google it. Google it if you're looking at this. It may very well. But take a look at it. The reason I'm mentioning that is because the room that Michele is describing, she showed it to me prior to the interview, and it's surrounded by glass. It's all glass, and you're in the middle, like you're in a forest, basically.
Yeah. So I want to share a little brief exercise on what it would be like for you when you're going to connect to your breath. So I'd like you to sit down, make yourself really comfortable, and place your feet flat, grounded onto the ground, wherever you're at. Have your back resting on the back of a chair, and turn your palms facing up. So everybody take a breath in. Take a breath in, and breathe it out. Breathe in through your nose, and breathe out through your mouth. One more time. Breathe in through your nose, and breathe out through your mouth. Good. And now just close your eyes gently and relax to your shoulders. I'd like you to focus your breath just underneath your nostrils and your upper lip. As you breathe in, expand through the lower belly and expand through the diaphragm. And then exhale, soften and release, and let go. Inhale through your belly, expand through the diaphragm, and then exhale, soften and release. One more time. Inhale through your belly and just soften even more into the diaphragm. Exhale and release. Now we're going to go all the way up. Again, keeping in mind that you're feeling your breath as it's cool as it comes in and it's warm as you exhale. inhale through your belly, soften in your middle, and breathe all the way up to your shoulders. And then exhale, release for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 more times. Inhale, lower belly, expand in the diaphragm, all the way up to your shoulders. Now relax even more through your shoulders, keep holding your breath. And then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now imagine yourself in like the best place, like Anurag has spoken about. One of your favorite, most amazing places where you felt awesome in your life. Now I want you to think about who was around you. What were you wearing? What were the sounds around you? But most importantly, what did it feel like inside? In that place inside where you felt amazing. Now come back to that place and you'll always be able to remember that essence where you felt so comfortable. And any time that you're feeling stressed out or you just need a minute to chill, this is the place where you want to come back to. And now take one last breath. Inhale, all the way up, and then exhale. Stay super grounded through your feet. Gently open your eyes with a big smile.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Michele, for that. Well, thank you, Michele and Anurag. And everyone, you guys can go to www.regonline.ca/sweet nothing to have the opportunity to spend some time with these two tremendous people producing life-changing results. Michele's done these retreats all over the world, and Anurag has helped, as he shared earlier, tens of thousands of people to transform their lives. So it's bound to be a great event.
That's fun.
Yeah, come on out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.